We're now joined by Chris Yelland, MD of EE Publishers. He was at the briefing earlier today. Chris, thank you so much for making the time to join us. Was there anything of significance that came out from the briefing that is new, that gives new light as to where South Africa is and whether we're going to be able to weather the storm that is brewing around us?
Well, the CEO of Eskom spent a lot of time, in fact, virtually the whole briefing, discussing issues of operational sustainability. Issues relating to the maintenance issues, the backlog of maintenance, how they got there, and what they intend to do to get out of this maintenance backlog. But I think we were disappointed that very little attention or time, in fact no time, was given to the question of financial sustainability, and even less clarity was given to issues of environmental sustainability and environmental compliance. I think that was primarily because government hasn't made its position clear yet. They are still, I think, waiting for government to put its recovery plan on the table, what level of financial support they prepare to give, and in what way, what assets they intend to sell in order to provide the necessary finance. And I think that was explained to us is still work in progress. It's work on the table, and it hasn't been clarified yet. I guess we're going to have to wait until, I think, the 25th of February for the Minister of Finance's budget speech to get a better picture of what's going on there.
Yeah, the last job I would like in the world at the moment is the job of the Minister of Finance putting together the budget. Next month, Chris, the headlines all over the place today, we're spending 30 million rand a day on diesel. Of course, the oil price is falling, so it's a good thing that price will be cut on a monthly basis. But would you say that the one positive about what's happened this week is that something that I said to Andrew Etzinger, who is Eskom spokesperson, please just keep us in touch, tell us when you're going to cut us off, and please tell us exactly what the story is, and then it will be more palatable. As a bookmaker once said to me, pay and the pain goes away. Eskom, tell us and the pain goes away.
I think up to now, it's been a case of over-promising and under-delivering. And I think the realization has finally come that, in fact, we need to be very frank with the South African public and the industry, customers of electricity, who depend on electricity. And the message, I think, came through loud and clear at the operational sustainability level, that we really have to be prepared for things to get worse before they get better. You know, they said, the CEO said that Eskom has to find 5,000 megawatts of space in order to do the necessary maintenance. Now, that basically means that supply needs to be higher than demand by 5,000 megawatts. Now, at the moment, supply and demand are very evenly matched. In fact, sometimes demand is higher than supply. And it's got to be, demand has got to be 5,000 megawatts lower. And how are they going to do that? By load shedding. So I'm expecting, and we were told, that really we can expect stage 3 load shedding. That's 4,000 megawatts. For an extended period of time. I'm not talking about a week or a month or even 3 months, but a couple of years, in order to really address this maintenance backlog and to do what has to be done and to do it right by the book. The old policy of keeping the lights on at all costs has been realized to have been a serious mistake. And now it's a case of back to basics, getting it done the way it should be done.
Well, it does definitely look like Eskom is in dire stress, and we have a problem with power. I mean, you've seen that Kelvin, which is one of the private power stations, also has been changing hands for quite a long time, which means that management of power is an issue in South Africa. Now, what are the implications, first, obviously, to the economy? And secondly, was there any clarity in terms of, say, Medupi and some of the power stations when they will be complete? Like you say, obviously the deadlines are not being met, and it's not quite clear from a timeline perspective when they will address these issues.
There are deep issues in the whole of the electricity supply industry, not just at generation level, but also transmission, distribution level. These are all chains, links in the chain of supply, from the electricity generation through to the point of consumption. And I think at the moment they're addressing certain of these issues without addressing the bigger picture, and that's still got to be done. The other point you made was, oh yes, Medupi and Kusile, the state of that. yes, some clarity was given. The answer is that, first synchronization of the first unit, that's Unit 6 at Medupi, was scheduled for the end of 2013, then 24th of December 2014, then middle of January 2015. It's now scheduled for end of February 2015. But I must clarify, first synchronization is not COD. COD, commercial operation date, right, only occurs in June 2015, so it's a long haul.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. That's Chris Yelland, MD of EE Publishers. And of course, you'll recall that just last night you were speaking to the energy regulator, and they were reminding us that the threshold to increase tariffs had been met. And today we're hearing that the tariff structure is insufficient to keep the lights on. So clearly there's a disconnect there.